Because JD Vance couldn't seal the deal, we are currently stuck with a closed Strait of Hormuz. But that is not as much the fault of Iran as it is the United States. Let me explain. But before we continue, if you please consider subscribing to a 16-year-old political enthusiast who simply wants to contribute to the political conversation and forge a community of young, driven, like-minded individuals who care about our democracy and how we integrate ourselves into the future of our politics. Thank you, and now back to the video. After nearly a month of the US and Israel committing war crimes in Iran and Lebanon, diplomacy was finally put on the table, with peace talks taking place over the weekend between Vice President JD Vance and Iranian officials in Pakistan. But unfortunately, nothing actually came out of these negotiations, mostly due in part to the fact that Iran refused to give up their nuclear program. If you already thought the Trump administration possessed a certain degree of incompetence, or to put it lightly, were blatantly stupid, this will just blow it out of the ballpark for you. One of the main reasons we entered the negotiations with Iran was to, one, procure peace, and to, two, reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The same Strait of Hormuz that was closed when the war first began, and the same closure that has been driving up prices for Americans. Instead of trying to chalk up some new negotiations or rekindle the spirit of diplomacy that had been lost, the United States decided to impose a blockade on the Strait of Hormuz. In response to this intellectually, strategically void blockade imposed by the United States, Iran's armed forces threatened to block shipping from the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and the Red Sea if the U.S. continues its blockade, because it creates insecurity for Iranian commercial ships and oil tankers. And despite all of this, despite indication that there is no peace on the horizon, that peace is a distant dream for the people of Iran, for the people of the world, Donald Trump said that the war is very close to being over and that peace talks could resume as early as this week. And actually, Donald Trump said he is reopening the Strait of Hormuz. In a post earlier today on Truth Social, Donald Trump announced that he was reopening permanently the Strait of Hormuz. But as it always is with Donald Trump, guess his true intentions behind his statement. Instead of wanting to do this out of genuine concern for the welfare of the American people, his voters, his constituents, the people he was voted into office to serve, and to bring down record-breaking gas prices, the highest in American history, by the way, he is doing this for one clear, obvious reason. And that is to please and to gain the approval of his dictator best friend and someone he aspires desperately to emulate, Xi Jinping. Because China, ahead of a US-China summit that's supposed to take place in a few weeks, vowed to stop supplying Iran with weapons, Donald Trump said he is doing it for them. He literally said that. All this to say, whatever Donald Trump's true intentions are behind this upheaval of his blockade on the Strait of Hormuz, just know one thing. This has never been about us. And if you still don't believe me and I still haven't been able to convince you, let Donald Trump tell you in words better than I could ever convey.
So do you believe the price of oil and gas will be lower before the midterm elections?
I hope so. I mean, I think so. It could be or the same, or maybe a little bit higher.